game is on the line now. It's the only place to find out. For the breakdown and the highlights, turning on the stadium bright lights. Everything you need to know, it's Sports Talk HQ. Welcome to the show. It's Sports Talk HQ. Sports Talk HQ.
Let's get caught up, man, on the NBA news of the playoffs that's going on right now. I'd like to chime in on James Harden. As we all know, the Cleveland Cavaliers got swept by the New York Knicks 4-0, and the Knicks did it to them in their arena, and it's a travesty. It's a travesty. I want to do a deep dive into James Harden, man, because there's going to be a plethora of videos that I'm going to play, and it really shows the selfishness, and he is very delusional when it comes to his makeup when you're talking about performing at a high level in the playoffs. I've never seen someone. Well, I have, but for someone of his caliber to be making so much money and to have so much talent and to go out there and have this type of lazy mentality on the basketball court is really pathetic. It's really pathetic. There's only so many excuses that you can give for the type of effort that he brings night in and night out, especially in the NBA playoffs. I mean, he looked disinterested. He looked disgusted. He looked like he didn't even want to be on the basketball court, but I bet you he wanted to collect that check. So let's kind of go ahead and get into what he said after they got swept in the 4-0 against the Knicks. Let's listen to his mindset, his logic. And y'all feel free to comment in the comment sections and let me know, how do you feel about James Harden and his history of his lack of performance in the NBA playoffs?
Like, I can't even answer that question, honestly. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was 4-0, but I don't think we had a chance as far as our best shot. From a standpoint of the circumstances. Obviously they dominated us 4-0, but I don't know if I can necessarily answer that question, just because genuinely I do feel like we are the better team, but series wise, it didn't show it, so it's a tough question to answer.
Reflecting on this series,
we are the better team. Genuinely, you think that y'all are the better team? No, the Knicks are the better team. The Knicks are the better team. How can you even fix your mouth of those type of words to say that genuinely you feel that y'all are the better team when y'all didn't even win a game? I'm doing simple math here. Y'all didn't even win a game at home. Y'all couldn't even win one game at home. And you mean to tell me that genuinely you feel that y'all are the better team? You quit. James Harden and the Cleveland Cavaliers quit. They didn't play no defense. They let the Knicks do whatever they want, whenever they want, on the basketball court. So who are you trying to fool? Who are you trying to fool? See, it's stuff like this that makes people like me believe that he doesn't care about winning. He doesn't care about winning. Because if he cared about winning, he wouldn't have made a stupid behind comment like that. You have to be very careful. Very careful. So let's listen to what he had to say right here.
I think I did pretty good. You know, like I don't grade myself off shot making. I think coming here was just a piece to fulfill whatever needs to be fulfilled, and defensively being extremely solid, offensively, getting guy shots and fitting into a system that was already in place.
Personally, kind of like self-assess your playoff run, just kind of in general how you fit. This is crazy. This is crazy. To have this type of mindset, just look how the game one loss. This is AI. This is crazy, man. Now listen to what this guy had to say.
Team. I've never heard an athlete in my life ever who got swept who said, I thought we were the better team. Now, I've seen players get beat and say we were the better team. I have never heard a player in my life as a sports fan and a sports talk radio host ever say that. What a knucklehead. What a complete knucklehead James Harden is. I mean, to the point where you got to look at him as maybe the dumbest athlete in the world when it comes to professional sports. I've never heard an athlete in my life ever.
What can you say? What can you say about James Harden? There's nothing else that you can say. Is that he is being him. He's being him. He has that same type of attitude, and he doesn't care, and that's the issue here. And here go Donovan Mitchell. Let's listen to what he had to say.
The biggest thing is you just use it as a learning lesson. It's a tough learning lesson. But now we know, right? I mean, that's not how I like to say things, but you know what I mean? We know, like, you know what I mean? And this team that we just faced had to go through this. Maybe not this way, right? But they've been together, they've been in core group and had to go through this tough experience. So it's our turn. And I'm sorry for the city of Cleveland for it to be like this in the sweep. Like, that's ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I told y'all last year, and I'll tell y'all again, we'll be back, and we'll be ready, and we'll be hungry, and we'll be locked in. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is
at the end of the day, it's all about moments in history. It's about how you approach the game in the moment. In the moment. See, the thing is, I believe what Donovan Mitchell is missing is y'all as a team gave lackluster effort. There was no energy. There was no energy. And when there's no energy, and then it doesn't seem like y'all even care with the mannerism, the body language, that's the problem here. That's the problem, y'all. That is the issue. That is the issue that we're facing here, is that y'all didn't give effort. The body language was off. It appeared like y'all didn't even care. That's the issue. That's the issue here. And at the end of the day, if you can't go out there and perform at a high level, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Let's listen to what he had to say, Riz.
I don't know, man. To bring back Kenny Atkinson, I just did not. Again, I think he's a good coach. He's just a little too analytical for me. I know he had a meltdown in the Knicks series without calling the timeout and then saying what he said about being up 2-1 in analytics. But I got to admit, I'm surprised. I'm not surprised often, and I don't disagree often, but I respectfully disagree with this thing. But going forward, You know what this tells me? That the Cavs feel like, and maybe rightfully so, the problem was the players.
Yeah.
The problem was Donovan Mitchell running out of gas again. The problem was James Harden not being able to hit a three. The problem was Mobley and Allen not being consistent every night. Those were the problems.
Hey,
I don't know, man.
let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. I'm going to say the players, because at the end of the day, the players didn't give effort. Period. I don't care what nobody else says. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Analytically, I think we've won the I said 3 out of 3. We're 2 out of 3 in the expected. I don't know if you guys follow that. There's an expected score, and we won 2 out of 3. And I know you're looking confused, but I'm not. There is really, if you believe in process and all that, like, man, take that later. I know I don't throw that on them. I see it for myself. We have this feeling. I have this feeling, and I can go to an analytical table and be like, man, we are. Last night it was the expected score was like 1 point or 2. Us shooting way below expected, them shooting way over. I know no one wants to hear that. I think you guys like hearing it. I know, general public, no one wants to hear that. Everyone's outcome based, and sure, I get that too. Analytically,
oh my God, what did I just listen to? What did I just listen to? Now I see the issue. It starts with the head coach. He sound crazy. From an analytical perspective, with like 2 out of 3. What? Y'all didn't even win 1 game. And you're talking about analytics? How about let's talk about the lack of effort? How about let's talk about the lack of execution? Let's listen to what he had to say right here.
Yes, absolutely. So, that was the task, right? Take another step. And we know, Knicks were in the conference finals last year, right? This is how you have to there are barriers, right? And we jumped a barrier that we were stuck on, right? Second round, stuck on that. You make a jump. It's not easy to do in a really competitive East. You consider this season a success? Yes, absolutely.
He has a right to his opinion that he feels that it's a success for the Cleveland Cavaliers to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and that's a success for him. Whoop-de-doo. I'm not mad at him for saying that. But at the end of the day, the thing is how y'all lost is the issue. How you lost. At the same token, the Cavaliers, the players, you got to take accountability. You, as the player of this basketball organization, have to take accountability. You have to give more effort. You have to execute better. And the body language showed America that y'all checked out a long time ago. The body language showed that y'all quit a long time ago. And see, when you quit, especially in the NBA playoffs, that's unforgivable. That's the issue. Is that you quit. That you stop playing basketball at a high level and y'all just decided that, you know what, we're just going to show up, but we're not going to give effort. We're just going to show up, but we're not going to give effort. And that's the problem here. I don't care what nobody say.
From a coaching standpoint, yeah, I'm disappointed. I mean, disappointed for the group. Listen, from a coaching standpoint, normally you'd say, man, I wish we had player wise roster. I wish we had this. We didn't have this. I can't say that. Ownership and front office gifted us with a wonderful roster, talented roster. So I feel bad. I feel bad for the group. Because you want to fulfill, your expectations first of all. So, that's disappointing. I'll turn it positive though. We took a step. We took a step. This is kind of how this works. You have to keep climbing. We are going in, obviously a positive direction. Fell short. There's no bigger motivator, right, to get to the next level. I think it is all season and development and how we the sacrifice we're going to need to make to get to the next level. But I'm proud of this group in terms of how they fought through adversity. 1-2 game sevens. We took a step. I think we took a step mentally, from a mental toughness point of view. So I'm going to kind of lean on that. And again, we all know there's another 2 steps really you got to take.
Just listening to him. Let's listen to what Stephen A. Smith had to say here.
That moment right there is why Kenny Atkinson deserves to be an assistant coach. Right there. Now, obviously, I'm being somewhat facetious because the man led Cleveland to a #1 seed last year. Doggy has pointed out how he was a damn good coach in Brooklyn and how Kyrie and KD should have never wanted him gone. And even though they underachieved last year in the playoffs, here they are this year in the Eastern Conference Finals. Give credit where credit is due. But for any coach to have that come out of their mouth, it's egregious. And if you remember, Doggy, you may not remember. I'm sure Wendy does. I have it on very, very good authority that it was a moment like that when Daryl Morey sealed his fate in Houston. They lose a playoff game to the Golden State Warriors. And he walks up to Tillman Fertitta, and he's talking, the owner for the Houston Rockets. And he, after explaining some of the things that analytically was going on, he sees, so you see, we really, really won. They lost a playoff game. He said, you see, we really, really won. See, that's the kind of nonsense that has invaded the sport. We are, and this notion to the world of analytics, to all the analytic geeks.
Let me just say this, man. I think so many times you can pay so much attention to analytics instead of paying attention to the foundation of what it takes to win. It's not that deep to win a basketball game, on what it takes to win a basketball game. It's not that deep. Don't turn the ball over, rebound the basketball, play defense, and execute on the offensive side of the ball. Try to be as efficient as possible, shooting close to 50%, getting closely as 50% as possible, and you give your team an opportunity to win the game. It's not that deep. And so many times when you hear players like Kenny Atkinson say what he said, that analytically we really won 2 out of the 3. And you didn't even win a game. So I agree with Stephen A. Smith. It's stuff like that when you hear the nonsense that come out of people's mouth, it makes you confused. It's almost like you get into the twilight zone and you start wondering, what the hell did he just say? No, really, really. I'm confused. What the hell he just said? It's things like that that makes you confused. And I believe the Cleveland Cavaliers have decisions to make. Do you keep him as the head coach? And also, even as a roster, do you keep James Harden on your team? Hell, I'm even looking at Donovan Mitchell. Because you're looking at, like, is he going to be the leader that we need to get over the hump? So all you Cleveland Cavaliers fans out there, man, let me tell y'all something, man. It's a lot of question marks for next season. And the general manager, the people in the front office, the people that make the big time decisions, y'all have some tough decisions to make on what y'all going to do with y'all roster, especially starting from the head coach position on down. Because this was pathetic. It was a pathetic performance, and it was disrespectful to the people of Cleveland. Hands down. Y'all stay tuned to the next live stream, man.
Sports Talk HQ. Yeah, lock in the commentary. It's mandatory. New drip, ice on the chain, different story. Running this court, this ain't no exhibition. Smash that like, join the winning tradition. Tap in, become exclusive, that's the mission. Become exclusive, that's the mission.